The restaurant was the kind of place that folded your napkin after you used the restroom. Crisp white tablecloths, hushed conversations, and a wine list that cost more than my monthly mortgage. I watched Sloane glide her manicured fingers over the linen, tracing invisible patterns as she prepared for whatever this was. Her nails were perfect ovals, painted in that soft pink shade that clearly signaled an expensive salon visit. Mine were short, practical, and clean, hands of a veterinarian. Preston adjusted his Rolex. Again. Third time in 5 minutes. The metal caught the light from the crystal chandelier overhead, and I wondered if it was deliberate. Did he practice this gesture at home? Jasmine. Sloane's voice was soft and careful, the same tone she used when she needed lunch money, gas money, or that one-time $50,000 to keep creditors at bay. You know, Preston, and I have been planning our wedding, she said. I nodded, saying nothing. Under the table, my phone rested in my lap, screen dark but ready. Dean had texted me before I left. 2 words. Remember everything. We found the most amazing venue in Napa, Preston said, leaning forward, elbows on the table, as if we were old friends discussing a business opportunity. Vineyard views, sunset ceremony, very exclusive. It sounds beautiful, I said. Sloane's eyes lit up with that familiar shine, the same one from my childhood, from all those moments standing at Mom's bedroom door asking for just one more thing. It is, she whispered. It's perfect. Everything we've dreamed of. I waited. The thing is, Preston continued, his tone shifting, harder now. The venue requires a substantial deposit, and with the current market, liquidating certain assets would put us at a disadvantage. I almost smiled. He sounded like someone who had watched too many business shows. I knew his investment firm was barely holding together, and that designer suit was probably on a credit card he couldn't afford. What Preston means, Sloane said, reaching across the table to take my hand, is that we need help. Family helping family. There it was. We need $75,000, Preston said, flat and direct, as if ordering an appetizer. The number hung between us. I thought about Mom's house, the 4-bedroom bungalow where Sloane and I grew up. The house that had been legally mine for exactly 1 month. 1 month since we buried Mom. 1 month since I held her hand as she took her last breath. 1 month since Sloane arrived at the hospital 20 minutes late, mascara perfect, claiming traffic. From selling Mom's house, I said quietly, Well, yes. Sloane squeezed my hand. Her palm was soft and moisturized. Mine felt rough against hers. You have the whole house, Jasmine. It's only fair to share some of that value with family. Fair. I remembered being 16, prom dress hanging in the closet, corsage wilting in the fridge. Sloane had been 4 years old, burning with fever. While Mom worked her second job and I stayed home, giving my date an excuse about the flu. I spent the night pressing cool cloths to my baby sister's forehead as she whimpered. I remember being 23, canceling a trip to Portland with friends because Sloane needed someone to co-sign her first apartment lease. 28, I drained my savings to cover her credit card debt. 35, I lied to Dean about where $5,000 went. 41, I wrote a check for $50,000 while Sloane sobbed over bankruptcy and bad decisions, promising this would be the last time. Mom's voice lingers in my memory, weak from cancer but firm in conviction. Jasmine, you've given enough. When will it be enough? Preston repeats. It's only fair you got the whole house. What he doesn't say. 6 months ago, he was in Mom's living room while she slept upstairs, sedated on morphine. I heard him and Sloane through the baby monitor I'd set up to check on Mom's breathing. We could knock down this wall, Preston said, and replace that ugly fireplace with marble, Sloane added. Something modern. They were planning renovations on my mother's house while she was dying 1 floor above them. Mom would have wanted this for you, Sloane says now, eyes glistening. Perfect. Photogenic tears that don't smudge her makeup. She would have wanted to see me happy. My phone buzzes against my thigh. Dean's text is brief. Stay strong. I respond calmly, steady. I can offer $15,000. A wedding gift. Preston actually laughs, a short, sharp sound. That doesn't even cover the flowers. Sloane's expression shifts just for a moment. The tears vanish, replaced by something cold before she catches herself and her mask slides back into place. Jasmine, please. We're family. $15,000, I repeat. That's my final offer. Take it or leave it. Silence stretches. A waiter glides past with a tray of wine glasses. Someone laughs at the next table. Preston's jaw tightens. Sloane's fingers curl into the tablecloth, pressing like claws. You're being selfish, she says quietly. After everything I've been through. After losing Mom. I stand, smooth my jacket, and look down at my baby sister, the one I raised more than Mom ever did, the one I've sacrificed for again and again. Take it or leave it, I say again. I leave $3.20 for my untouched water and walk into the afternoon sun. Phone already in hand, ready to play the recording I made of Preston and Sloane in Mom's house 6 months ago. Dee was right. It's time to remember everything. It's Wednesday night. I'm at the kitchen table with cold tea, Mom's photo album open, pictures of Sloane as a baby, at 7 with a gap-toothed smile, radiant in her high school gown. My throat aches. I keep searching for the moment my baby sister became someone I don't recognize. Jasmine, Dean's voice interrupts my thoughts. He's in the doorway, laptop in hand, his accountant expression on, the one that means he's found something in the numbers that doesn't add up. You need to see this. He sets the laptop on the table and pushes it toward me. The screen displays a background check report detailing Preston Vance's financial history, debts and failed ventures all laid bare. $53,000 owed to an offshore casino. Another $18,000 to someone called Big Tommy, a name nobody wants to owe. Keep scrolling, Dean instructs. Cryptocurrency investments appear next. Failed ones. $85,000 loss to digital coins with names like Moonshot and Rocket Fuel, the kind of schemes promising quick wealth but delivering bankruptcy. Dean quietly mentions that Preston's family cut him off 6 months ago. A court filing shows his father threatened to declare him financially incompetent. My hands tremble. I recall Preston's Rolex, his designer suit, the casual way he asked for $75,000 as if it were nothing. All borrowed, all illusory. Dean switches tabs, revealing text messages. A thread between Sloane and Preston, dated 2 weeks before the restaurant ambush. Preston, the sister won't just hand over the money. We need leverage. Sloane, I know Jasmine. Guilt works. She's been supporting me since birth. Preston, then use it. Family duty, mother's wishes, whatever works. Sloane, I'll cry. That always gets her. I read the messages repeatedly. The words remain the same. Dean places his hand over mine. I'm sorry, he says. My phone rings. Aunt Patricia, my mother's older sister, the one who sent flowers to the funeral and praised me. I answer. Me. Hi, Aunt Patricia. Patricia, don't. Hi, me. I just spoke to Sloane. She's devastated, Jasmine. Absolutely devastated. Me about what? Patricia, about your greed. About keeping everything while she gets nothing. Your mother would be ashamed. Her words strike like a slap. I grip the phone tighter. Me, that's not true. Patricia, Sloane told me everything. How you manipulated your mother while she was ill. How you isolated her. How you refused to share any of the inheritance. Me, none of that is true. She's your sister, Jasmine. Your baby sister. Patricia, and yet you treat her like a stranger. I thought you were better than this. She hangs up. I set the phone down gently as if it might shatter. Dean watches silently, jaw tight. She's been contacting everyone, I say. Hasn't she? Dean replies. Probably. He pauses. Check your Facebook. I hesitate, but do it anyway. 3 cousins have unfriended me. The family group chat, usually full of recipes and baby pictures, is quiet. Not really quiet. They're still talking, just not including me. A vague post from Jennifer Parker, a distant cousin. It's sad when people show their true colors after a tragedy. Family should come first. 42 likes and 16 comments agreeing with her. A new review appears on my clinic's Facebook page. 1 star. Anonymous. Dr. Williams seems kind to animals, but apparently steals from her own family. Makes you question what else she might be doing. Dean reads it over my shoulder and mutters a word I barely ever hear from him. They're destroying me, I whisper. They're trying to. He closes the laptop. The real question is what we're going to do about it. I think about Mom's hospital room, those final weeks when Sloane showed up twice, staying maybe 20 minutes each time. While I slept in the chair beside Mom's bed, held her hand through the pain, and read to her when she couldn't sleep. The hospice nurse, Rosa, kept careful notes. I remember her warm eyes and gentle manner. "You're a good daughter," she once told me. "Your mother knows that." We document everything, I say slowly. Every single thing they do. Everything they've said. Dean nods. I've already started. The text messages, the restaurant meeting, Preston's financial records. I've backed everything up in 3 places. My phone vibrates. A voicemail from our family lawyer, Janet Morrison. I put it on speaker. "Jasmine, this is Janet. I received an interesting letter today from an attorney representing your sister. Sloan is threatening to challenge the will. I want you to know this claim has no merit. The will is airtight, and your mother was completely mentally competent when she signed it. I've seen this tactic before. It's meant to pressure you. Don't let it. Call me tomorrow so we can go over the next steps." The voicemail ends. "They're going to drag this out," I say. "Make it as hard as possible." "Let them," Dean replies firmly. The truth is on our side. The next morning, I drive to the cemetery. Mom's grave still looks fresh, the grass not yet grown over the soil. The headstone is simple and graceful, her name, her dates, and the line she chose. "Beloved mother and friend." I sit beside her, ignoring the damp soaking through my jeans. "I understand now," I tell her. "The house wasn't just about money, it was protection. You knew Sloan would do this. You knew I'd need something they couldn't take from me." Wind rustles through the trees. A bird calls somewhere above. "I'm going to fight," I say. "I won't let them destroy what you left for me." My phone rings. It's Janet again. "I wanted you to hear this directly," she says. "Your mother came to see me 3 months before she passed. She updated her will because she was concerned about Sloan. She told me, and I'm quoting here, 'My oldest daughter has given everything. My youngest daughter has taken everything.' It's time that ended." I close my eyes. Mom knew. Of course she did. "Thank you," I managed to say. "There's one more thing," Janet continues. "I'm sending a cease and desist letter to Sloan and Preston today. If they keep spreading false accusations, we'll have grounds for a harassment lawsuit." After the call, I stay by the grave a little longer. Then I drive to the clinic, where my partner, Sarah, waits with coffee and a determined expression. "I saw that review," she says. "I've already flagged it as false. And I spoke to the other partners. We're releasing a statement in your defense." "You don't have to do that," I say. "Yes, we do." She hands me the coffee. "We're your family too, Jasmine. The part that actually matters." That evening, 3 relatives call, cousins who've known me since we were kids. They apologize. They admit Sloan's story didn't make sense once they thought about it. They remember who was truly there for Mom. But then another notification appears on my phone. My cousin Rachel's baby shower, my invitation has been withdrawn. Sloan will be there, and I don't want any conflict. "I'm sorry." I stare at the message. "Thanks for watching." Dean comes over, sees my face, and doesn't say a word. He just wraps his arms around me while I finally cry. 3 days later, Sloan calls, and her voice sounds different this time, softer. Broken. "Jasmine. I'm so sorry." She's crying, real tears this time, not the practice kind from the restaurant. "I've been overwhelmed with stress over the wedding, money, everything. I said things I regret." I'm standing in the kitchen, phone pressed to my ear, watching Dean load the dishwasher. He glances up, the caution in his eyes unmistakable. "I just want to fix this." Sloan continues. "Can we meet? Just the 4 of us. Preston wants to apologize too. We found a solution that works for everyone." My stomach tightens. "What kind of solution?" "Just come to dinner. Please. Let's talk like family." She pauses. "There's a steakhouse Preston knows, really nice. Our treat. Tomorrow night at 7. Every instinct screams danger. I should say no. But then she adds the words I can't ignore. "Mom would want us to at least try, wouldn't she?" After I hang up, Dean sets down the plate he's holding. "You're not actually considering this," he says. She sounded desperate, genuine. "This is a trap, Jasmine," he warns. "Yes, I know," I reply. He pulls out his phone, types. "What's the name of the steakhouse?" I tell him. He scrolls, muttering, "One-party consent state." The steakhouse is across the county line. "So?" I ask. "So, he says. We bring insurance. He locks eyes with me. A phone set to record. Just in case. My chest tightens. It feels wrong. But you know what else feels wrong? Your sister trying to take your inheritance. He sets his phone on the counter. We won't share it unless necessary, but if this goes how I suspect, we'll be glad we have it. The next day I practice. Standing in front of the bathroom mirror, I keep my face calm while Dean throws impossible scenarios at me. Sign this, he says, waving a piece of paper. No, I answer. My voice steady. Your mother would be ashamed of you. Maybe, I reply, breathing evenly. She left me the house for a reason. You're tearing the family apart. I'm protecting what she wanted me to have, I say. By the time we arrive at the steakhouse the following evening, I have a folder in my bag. Copies of the will, Mom's house recording, affidavits from her doctor, hospice nurse, and best friend. Proof Sloan barely showed up during those final months. The restaurant is all dark wood and leather booths expensive. Even the bread basket costs more than a regular dinner. I notice them immediately. Not Sloan and Preston, but two men in suits at the bar watching us. Too alert, too focused. Lawyers. Dean murmurs, his hand on the small of my back. Sloan waves from a corner booth, her smile perfect. Preston stands, Rolex catching the dim light. You came, he says. Sloan hugs me, her perfume unmistakable. I'm so glad. Appetizers arrive too quickly, as if already ordered. Calamari, shrimp cocktail, things I didn't choose. We're sorry about how things went last time, Preston says. His steak is cut into precise pieces. He hasn't touched any of it. Emotions run high. We've been thinking, Sloan says, reaching for my hand. About compromise. About what's fair for everyone. Here it comes. Preston produces papers from his jacket, placing them beside my plate. We had our lawyers draw up a simple agreement, he says. Just transfer the house into a family trust. Everyone benefits. Everyone gets their fair share. Just sign it. Sloan's grip tightens. Make this right, Jasmine. For all of us. Dean's movements are calm, deliberate. He pulls his phone from his pocket and sets it on the table. Screen up. Red recording dot visible. No, he says quietly. Preston goes pale. What is that? Insurance, Dean replies, gesturing toward the bar. The two lawyers are already standing, gathering their things. We have enough evidence of coercion and fraud. The security cameras in the restaurant captured everything. Smile, gentlemen, I mutter. The lawyers move quickly. One drops cash on the bar, and they're gone before Preston can call them back. You recorded us. Sloan's voice is raw, not with tears this time, but with anger. Nearby diners are staring. A woman in pearls lifts her phone to record. I pull my hand free from Sloan's grip. Just like you tried to ambush me, I say. Preston reaches for the papers, but Dean is faster, sliding them out of reach. You'll want to keep these, Dean tells me. Evidence. This isn't over. Sloan whispers, sharp and vicious. You think you're so smart, but this isn't over. Preston grabs my arm as I rise, his fingers digging in. Dean positions himself between us before I can react, solid and immovable. Don't touch my wife, he warns. The restaurant falls silent. Even the kitchen seems to pause. I look at Sloan, really see her. The little sister I raised, the sick 4-year-old, the teenager needing lunch money, is gone. Perhaps she never truly existed. My baby sister died, I say steadily. The moment she chose greed over love. No guilt, just clarity. We walk out together. Dean's hand warm in mine. Behind us, I hear Sloan's rising voice, Preston's frantic explanations to the manager, and the quiet clicking of phones from other diners. The night air feels clean. I can breathe again. You did well, Dean says. His phone holds every word, every threat, every attempt at manipulation. The quitclaim deed, with its impossible conditions and Preston's control clauses, is secure in my bag. Before we reach the car, footsteps approach, fast, angry. Sloan has followed us into the parking lot. Mascara streaked, her perfect mask finally broken. This isn't over, she hisses. Preston reaches for me, catching my jacket. Dean steps between us, protective as ever. I meet Sloan's eyes over his shoulder. You're right, I say. It's not over. But soon it will be. We drive home in silence. The recording stays in Dean's phone, the deed stays in my bag. Somewhere behind us, my sister is realizing she's already lost. Later that night, the State Bar complaint form lies on my kitchen table, crisp and white, filled with careful handwriting. I've completed countless medical forms, but this one feels different. Each line a small act of war. Dean leans over my shoulder as I enter the final details online. Are you sure about the names? He asks. Jason Mitchell and Rebecca Hartwell. I don't need to check. I reply. The two lawyers from the steakhouse bar are etched in my memory, licensed in the state for 8 and 12 years, yet involved in documented coercion. My finger hovers over the submit button. What Mom would want doesn't matter anymore, Dean whispers. He understands. Mom always sought peace, smoothing over Sloane's chaos, pretending everything was fine. What matters is doing what's right. I click submit. Confirmation appears. Case number 2025 ETH 4471. I screenshot it, adding it to the evidence folder on my desktop, which is growing thick. Affidavits from Dr. Harrison documenting Sloane's 3 visits during Mom's 6-month hospice, Rosa's nursing logs showing who was actually there at 2 a.m., Bob's statement about Preston photographing the property weeks before Mom died. My phone rings, unknown number. I let it go to voicemail, but it rings again 30 seconds later. Answer it. We're recording everything now, Dean says. I tap speaker, the recording app running. This is Jasmine, I say. Miss Williams, this is Richard Vance. His voice is deep, authoritative, the kind of old money calm that tries to sound reasonable. Preston's father. I don't respond. I'm calling about this unfortunate situation involving my son and your sister. I understand there's been some tension regarding family property. Tension. The word feels sharp. Is that what we're calling attempted fraud now? He pauses. I've been informed about a recording, one my son claims was obtained illegally and is now being used to threaten him. Dean shakes his head quickly, but I ignore him. The recording was made in a one-party consent state, Mr. Vance. I confirmed that before I went to that steakhouse. Everything on it is legal and admissible. His voice hardens. Regardless, if that recording is released publicly, or if you continue this harassment campaign against my son, we will have no choice but to pursue defamation charges. Preston is ready to take whatever legal action is necessary to protect his reputation. A laugh escapes me before I can stop it. Sharp, bitter. His reputation. The same reputation where he tried to cheat a grieving woman out of her inheritance. That one. I suggest you speak with your attorney, Ms. Williams, and remember that legal battles are costly. Long. I have significant resources available. The call ends. I stare at my phone. My hands are steady, but something cold settles in my chest. He's bluffing, Dean says. Just trying to scare you. Maybe. I add the call to my timeline, noting the date, time, and details. The document is 15 pages now. Every text from Sloane, every social media post, every threatening message. All timestamped, all organized, all backed up to 3 different cloud accounts. My laptop chimes with an email. I almost ignore it until I see the subject line. Thinking of you. It's from someone named Jennifer Walsh. I don't know a Jennifer Walsh. I open it anyway. The message is short, polite, almost gentle. I saw Sloane's post about missing her sister, and I wanted to reach out. I can't imagine how hard it must be to lose your mother and then deal with family conflict on top of that grief. Sloane showed me some old photos of you too. She seems so loving. I hope you can forgive whatever misunderstanding has happened. Family matters so much. I scroll. Her signature includes a link to her Instagram. Dean is already checking the profile on his phone. 147 comments on Sloane's post from yesterday. The one with our childhood photos. I don't need to look. I know exactly which photos she used. Us at the beach. Me teaching her to ride a bike. Christmas morning, she was 8, I was 20. Me in my college sweatshirt. Her in matching pajamas I bought with my grocery store paycheck. Missing my sister who abandoned me. Dean reads. Who took everything and left me with nothing but memories. Mom loved us both, but Jasmine only loves herself now. The comments are worse. Strangers calling me selfish, greedy, a terrible sister, a disgrace. I shut the laptop. We don't respond, I say. My voice sounds distant. Not publicly. Agreed. Dean is already typing. But I'm sending the screenshots to our lawyer. And to your cousin Marie, she's been asking questions. The rest of the afternoon passes in a blur. Dean's IT friend, Marcus, a digital forensic specialist, comes over to image my hard drive. His equipment buzzes on the kitchen table. Preserve everything, he asks. Texts, emails, social media interactions. If this goes to court, you'll want a clean chain of custody. My phone buzzes. Aunt Patricia. I ignore it. 30 seconds later, the voicemail notification pops up. Jasmine, I just want to understand. Patricia's voice is thick, as if she's been crying. Sloan showed me messages where you threatened to ruin her wedding, where you said terrible things about Preston. She's devastated. Absolutely devastated. I know you're grieving, honey, but this isn't like you. Call me, please. Let's talk before this gets worse. I save the voicemail and add it to the evidence folder. She's lying about the messages. I tell Dean. I never threatened anything. He's typing furiously on his laptop, cross-referencing dates. That means Sloan either fabricated them or twisted the real messages out of context. Either way, it only confirms her pattern of deception. Evening arrives. I sit at my desk, drafting emails to my cousins. Not defensive. Not angry. Just facts. Dates of Mom's hospice care, records of who was present, properly redacted copies of the will. The truth, presented clearly for anyone willing to see it. I don't send them yet. Our lawyer advised waiting, letting Sloan dig her own hole deeper while we build our case higher. My phone rings again. This time it's the practice. I almost don't answer, but Dr. Sanders is a partner. I take the call. Jasmine, we need to talk about something. His voice is careful, professional. We receive an anonymous complaint through the state board, claiming you were distracted at work and made a medication error that endangered a patient. My stomach drops. That's not true. I checked. He continues, softer now. All your charts are perfect. Every medication is documented and correct. But the board has to investigate procedure. How long? I ask. 2 weeks. Maybe 3. It won't affect your work here. We know it's baseless. I just needed you to know. After he hangs up, I sit still. They're targeting my practice, my profession, the one thing I built that has nothing to do with family, inheritance, or Mom's house. Dean finds me 20 minutes later, still staring at my phone. They're getting desperate, he says. I nod, speechless. That's good, he continues. Desperate people make mistakes, and we're documenting every single one. The engagement party invitation still hangs on my refrigerator. Country club. Black tie optional. My name is conspicuously absent, but we both know I'll be there. I pull up the recording on my phone, listen to Preston's voice. Just sign it, Jasmine. Sloan's urgent whisper. The lawyer's footsteps fade. The engagement party is coming, and I'm ready. On the day of the party, the country club parking lot is full of luxury cars, BMWs, Mercedes, a Tesla that probably costs more than my annual salary. Dean parks near the entrance. Through the tall windows, the chandeliers glow. Inside, Sloan's engagement party is in full swing. You sure about this? Dean asks. I check my phone. The recording is queued and ready. Fully charged. Safely in my purse. I'm sure. My hands are steady, which surprises me. I expected them to shake. A bridesmaid blocks the door before we reach it. I recognize her from Sloan's Instagram posts. Tall, blonde, a dress worth more than my mortgage. Her smile is cold. You're not welcome here, she says. I'm here to show everyone the truth, I reply. Her eyes narrow. She pulls out her phone. Within seconds, a security guard appears. Navy uniform, radio on his belt, maybe 25, looking uncomfortable. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, he says. Then the country club manager arrives. Older, silver-haired, in a suit radiating authority. This is a private event. If you don't leave immediately, we'll call the police. Dean's hand finds mine, squeezing once. Then he turns to the manager with that calm, calculated expression of his. We're here as paying guests. The manager blinks. Dean pulls out his wallet and card. We'd like to purchase drinks at the bar. That makes us customers, not trespassers. I watch the manager's expression shift that he's assessing the situation, considering the legal consequences. Dean is correct, and both of us know it. The country club bar is technically open to anyone willing to buy a drink. 2 martinis, Dean tells the security guard. If you don't mind. The manager's jaw tightens, but he signals the guard to let us through. We've gained some time. Not a lot, but enough. Inside, the ballroom looks exactly like Sloane envisioned. White roses everywhere. A string quartet plays, softly in the corner. Tables are covered in cream linens with gold accents. The guests are the type who spend summers in the Hamptons and winters in Aspen, mostly Preston's relatives. His father stands near the bar, holding the attention of several men in expensive suits. We move along the wall toward the sound system. No one notices us yet. Everyone is focused on the small stage at the front where Preston adjusts a microphone. Can I have everyone's attention? Preston's voice carries through the speakers. The quartet stops. Conversations fade. All eyes turn toward him. Sloane steps beside him, glowing in a white cocktail dress, performing the role of devoted fiancé perfectly. I want to thank you all for being here tonight, Preston says. Sloane and I are grateful for your support as we begin this journey together. My phone is in my hand. Dean shields me from sight as I reach the main table and plug the auxiliary cable from the laptop into my phone. True love, Preston continues, his voice softening, means overcoming challenges. It means standing together against those who try to divide you. Even family members who let jealousy cloud their judgment. A ripple moves through the crowd. I notice Aunt Patricia nodding while dabbing her eyes with a tissue. But we've chosen to rise above that negativity, Preston says. We've chosen love over bitterness, forgiveness over resentment. I press play. The audio fills the ballroom, clear and unmistakable. Preston's voice from the steakhouse recording. Just sign the quitclaim deed, Jasmine. We can finish this in 5 minutes. Sloane's voice follows, tense and urgent. Just sign it, Jasmine. Paper rustles. My own voice steady. You brought lawyers to corner me. Preston's recorded reply. We're giving you a fair offer for your signature. From the stage, I watch the color drain from Preston's face. Sloane's mouth falls open, but she can't speak. The recording continues. The lawyer's statements are clear. The pressure, the manipulation, every threat and lie, all of it is laid out for everyone to hear. Turn that off. Sloane screams. Her voice is harsh, nothing like the soft tone she used earlier. Stop it right now. But I don't stop. I let the entire recording play. 2 minutes that feel like 2 hours. When it ends, the ballroom falls silent. Preston's father reacts first. He storms toward the stage, his face flushed with anger. You lied to us. Dad, I can explain, Preston begins. You told me Jasmine was being unreasonable, his father shouts, his voice echoing. You said she was holding your inheritance hostage. You're cut off. Do you hear me? Cut off. And you owe us $100,000 for the deposits we already paid. Guests pull out their phones, recording, posting. The same social media wave Sloane used against me is now turning on her. I see the bridesmaids stepping away from Sloane. I see Preston's family shaking their heads. I see Aunt Patricia's expression collapse as she realizes she supported the wrong sister. That recording is illegal. Sloane yells. She can't use it. One-party consent state. Dean says quietly, but loud enough for those nearby to hear. Completely legal. I disconnect my phone from the laptop. Then I look at Sloane, really look at her. The mask is gone. Her expression is twisted with anger and panic. This is who she has always been beneath the tears and manipulation. The truth always comes out, I say. Then I take Dean's hand and walk toward the exit. Behind us, I hear Sloane scream of frustration, the rising chaos as guests rush out, and Preston's father still shouting about money and lies as we step out into the cool evening air. The parking lot looks exactly as it did when we arrived, yet everything feels different now. Dean opens the car door for me. How do you feel? He asks. I slide into the passenger seat and release a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Free. A week later, the sold sign goes up. Red letters on a white board, planted in the front yard like a symbol of surrender, or maybe victory. I'm not sure which one fits yet. I stand in the empty living room where Mom once kept a reading chair near the window. My footsteps echo on the hardwood floors, each sound bouncing off the bare walls and amplifying the silence. Sunlight pours through the windows, still in need of cleaning, catching floating dust in warm, golden streaks. Dean walks by carrying the last box, Mom's photo albums, carefully wrapped in bubble wrap. The top frame shows her smiling at my college graduation. She looked proud that day. Exhausted but proud. That's everything, Dean says as he sets the box by the door. You ready? I nod, unable to speak yet. My phone buzzes in my pocket. Sloane's name flashes on the screen, followed by a voicemail notification. Dean watches me. You going to listen? I tap the screen and put it on speaker. There's nothing left to hide now. Sloane's voice fills the empty room. Emotional, frantic. Jasmine, you have to fix this. Preston's family cut him off. The venue canceled. Everyone knows. Everyone. You did this. You ruined my life. Call me back. We need to talk. We're still sisters. You can't just walk away. Mom would be so disappointed in you. Call me. Please. The message ends. The silence that returns feels heavier. Same manipulation, I say quietly. Different level of desperation. Dean takes my hand and squeezes it. Are you going to call her back? I look down at my phone. At Sloane's name, the missed calls, the unread texts stretching back 6 weeks. She tried every tactic, guilt, anger, threats, crying. The entire pattern we grew up with. I press delete and watch the voicemail disappear. No, I say. The little sister I practically raised? She became someone else a long time ago. I just didn't want to admit it. Dean pulls me close. I rest my head on his shoulder and allow myself to feel it. Not the guilt she expects, but the grief. The real grief. For the version of her I believed in, the one who never truly existed. The new practice called yesterday, I tell him. Everything's confirmed. I start in 2 weeks. And my firm approved the remote arrangement, Dean adds. We're really doing this. 500 miles away. A new state. A home with mountains instead of memories. A veterinary clinic that knows nothing about family conflict or inheritance disputes. Neighbors who won't whisper when I walk by. Therapy begins next month. Dr. Morrison specializes in family trauma. She says it will take time to unpack everything, to understand why I gave so much for so long, to learn the difference between love and obligation. Margaret Wilson held a farewell dinner last week. Mom's best friend, the one who testified about Sloane's rare hospital visits, cried when she hugged me. Your mother would be so proud, she whispered. She gave you that house to protect you. And now you finally see why. 3 cousins apologized. They admitted they believed Sloane at first, but the engagement party recording changed their perspective. Things are clearer to them now. We exchanged new phone numbers and promised to keep in touch. Maybe we will. Maybe a chosen family truly works better than the one we're born into. The moving truck waits in the driveway, engine running. Dean checks his watch. We should head out. Long drive ahead. I take one final look around. This room where Mom taught me how to braid hair. That corner where Sloane and I built pillow forts. The kitchen where I cooked dinner every night while Mom worked double shifts. Good memories. Hard memories. All of them mine to keep or leave behind. My phone buzzes again. Sloane calling. This time I don't pause. Block contact. Delete thread. Done. Dean holds the door open. Sunlight stretches across the threshold, warm and steady. I step outside. Lock the door. Place the key in the realtor's lockbox. We drive toward the sunrise, windows down, radio playing something upbeat. Dean's hand rests in mine. That night, in our new home with boxes still untouched, I take out my journal. I write under the lamplight while Dean assembles furniture in the next room. Love isn't measured in money or constant sacrifice. Mom understood that. She gave me the house not as a reward, but as a test. And I finally passed it. Some called my choice selfish. I call it survival. Real love demands firm boundaries, especially against those who would take advantage. I close the journal. Walk to the window. Mountains rise in the distance, soft and purple against the evening sky. No old pain here, only possibility. Dean appears beside me and wraps his arms around my waist. Happy? He asks. I lean back into him, feeling guilt finally fade. Getting there, I say.